Good morning, dear students. Let's begin with our social science class. Today I am continuing with my chapter number 4 of Geography, class 10, Agriculture. We discussed various types of crops, we discussed the cropping patterns, we also discussed what are Kharif crops, what are Rabi crops, what are Zaid crops, and many more. So, today our last part of fiber crop was remaining. So, first let us see what do you mean by fiber crops. So, cotton, jute, hemp, natural silk are the four major fiber crops that are grown in India, and the first three are derived from the crops grown in soil, that is cotton, jute, and hemp. Silk is obtained from cocoons of silkworm that are fed on green leaves, especially mulberry. Rearing of silkworm for the production of silk fiber is sericulture. So this was our brief recap. Now today we have to discuss cotton. So India is believed to be the original home for cotton plant and one of the main raw material for cotton textile industry, that is cotton only. And it is actually cotton plant is grown in India only mainly. India is the third largest producer of cotton in the world. Cotton grows well in rare parts of black soil and Deccan Plateau. So in our central India there is Deccan Plateau where there is plenty of black soil. Cotton grows well over there. Cotton also requires high temperature, light rainfall, 210 frost-free days, bright sunshine for growth. Also, cotton is a kharif crop and it requires about 8 to 10 months to mature. Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka, then Andhra Pradesh, then Punjab, then Haryana, then Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. These are the major cotton producing states. So, cotton is mainly grown in these states, that are Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, and Andhra Pradesh. Now, let's discuss an important topic in this chapter itself, that is technology and institutional reforms. Now, what reforms have been brought, what changes have been brought in technology as well as institutions to improve the agriculture of India, and how it is improved? It is a very important board mark question, and here we are discussing that in detail. Agriculture has been practiced in India for thousands of years. Sustained uses of land without compatible techno institutional changes have hindered the pace of agricultural development. Now we know this thing that as the India and as our world is developing, more and more land has been used up, and it is also causing pollution, as well as it is also causing different types of land degradation, soil erosion, and many more, which are affecting agriculture. As a result, poor quality crops are there. But when we see at the same time, the development has also led to development in agriculture, and the use of HYV seeds, the modern irrigation facilities, these are used to increase the crop production. But at the same time, this also leads to poor fertility of soil. So why has India not improved in technical and institutional reforms in agriculture? This is an important question. So in spite of development of sources of irrigation, most of the farmers in large parts of country still depend upon monsoon and natural fertility in order to carry on their agriculture. So this is the first point, that if the irrigation is already developed, then too because of the poverty in the farmers, they still depend on monsoon season. So poverty is the first reason. Second, agricultural needs serious technical and institutional reforms. So there should be some technical as well as institutional reforms. Collectivization, consolidation of holdings, cooperation, and abolition of zamindari, etc., were given priority to bring reforms in country after independence. So if these things happen, then we can say that the agricultural process can be improved. But in India, these are so long, as far as being consulted, these are delayed. So that's why the technical and institutional reforms are not developed much in India related to agriculture. Land focus was the main focus of first 5-year plan. So India has divided its when we talk about the history of India, its years, then there were some aims that, or the initiatives that were taken by Indian government that was ruling at that time. And the first 5 years, the main focus was land. Right of inheritance had led to fragmentation of land holdings. Now we know this thing, if a farmer has 4 sons, then his land will be divided among 4 parts. So the agricultural yield will also decrease, as well as the land will also decrease. So to increase the agricultural yield, they will use HYV seeds and all the modern irrigation facilities, but this will in turn decrease the fertility of soil. Laws of land reforms were enacted, but laws of implementation were lacking. Now, land reforms, many laws were there, but their implementation, when the question comes that whether those laws are implied or not to the people, that was not there. What were the steps taken by government in agricultural reforms? Now, what are there that agriculture development, what government has done? This is also important 5 mark question. You can see 5 points are there. First, Government of India embarked upon introducing agricultural reforms to improve Indian agriculture in 1960s and 1970s. So firstly you need to write this introduction and you need to write date, that is 1960 to 1970. Second, now this is very important, green revolution based on the use of package technology, and white revolution, that is Operation Flood, were some of the strategies initiated to improve Indian agriculture. We know this thing that agriculture does not only relate to crop production, it also relate to all the dairy farming activities also. Here white revolution has resulted in the increased production of milk as well as the increased nutritional value of milk, whereas green revolution has led to increased production of crops which are yielding more now. But this led to the concentration of development in few selected areas, means only a few areas are there where this development can be seen, and those are developing very high, very at a very fast rate, but those which are not developed are not yet developing. Therefore, in 1980s and 1990s, a comprehensive land development program was initiated which included both institutional and technical reforms. So you need to remember the date. Provisions for crop insurance against calamities, establishment of Grameen banks, that is the farmer banks, cooperative societies and banking for providing loan facilities to the farmers at lower rates of interest were some of the steps taken. So first is that you are providing the crop insurance if there is any calamities, so the government will repay for that crop. Second is that Grameen banks from where the farmers can take the loan for their crop production. Third is cooperative societies where the farmers live together, bank for providing loan facilities also at the lower rate of interest, because at the higher rate of interest the farmers are put in debt. Now let's discuss another important topic which is given in your NCERT, that is Bhudan, Gramdan. So Bhu related to land and Gram related to village. So here we discuss about Bhudan, that is a donation of land, and Gramdan, that is donation of village. This is the last topic of this chapter. The remaining part has been deleted from CBSE portion. Any further news we will do that portion also. Mahatma Gandhi declared Vinoba Bhave as his spiritual higher. So higher means the one who continues the generation, and spiritual means which is not in reality, but we can say that it has been declared as. He also participated in Satyagraha as one of the foremost Satyagrahis. He supported Gandhiji's concept of Gram Swarajya, means village independence. After Gandhiji's martyrdom, Vinoba Bhave undertook Padyatra to spread his message throughout the country. So he was a disciple of Gandhi. Once when he was at Andhra Pradesh, some landless farmers demanded land for their economic well-being. He assured them to talk to Indian government for provision of land for them if they undertook cooperative farming. So cooperative farming means they all need to do together the farming, means any of the profit that has been earned will be divided equally among all those farmers, so nobody will be in loss and nobody will be in much profit. Sri Ramchandra Reddy stood up and offered 80 acres of land to 80 landless farmers. So each farmer get 1 acre of land, but they had to do collective farming. This was known as Bhudan because the whole land was donated. Later, he introduced these ideas throughout the India. Some zamindars offered to distribute villages among landless, so it was much larger land available. So that was called as Gramdan, which means whole village has been donated to these farmers for agriculture, for better agriculture. However, many landowners choose to provide some part of their land to poor farmers due to fear of Land Ceiling Act. So there, the landowners had only decided to give some part because of the Land Ceiling Act imposed by Britishers. This Bhudan Gramdan movement, initiated by Vinoba Bhave, is also known as Bloodless Revolution. It was actually a revolution because it was increasing the agricultural crop and many people, and it had led to change in society. But here, no one was killed and was not violent. That's why we say it is a bloodless revolution. Okay, and you can see the picture of Vinoba Bhave also. So we have completed this chapter. That's all for the day. Thank you very much.